Hey everybody, welcome back to Champion Sons and our Formula One series following Sebastian Champion and Champion Racing. And we have got a heck of an episode available for y'all today as we are going to start out in Azerbaijan. This is going to be a double entendre episode today. 2 races, 1 show. We're about to make this thing happen. And this track, it is a beautiful day, but this track is I guess, road course track. So it is pretty dang tough. There's going to be lots of tight turns on it. As you can see, lots of sharp turns. That's one of the biggest problems. Um, we're normally pretty good on those large sweeping turns, but once we get into some of those tight, high 90-degree sharp turns, it makes things a little bit tougher for us. We did have a pretty good qualifying round, so we are going to start pretty well um, in the pack today, and it's just hoping that we're still waiting for our new power package, our new engine upgrades to be put in after the Spain episode. We lost a lot of power there, causing us to drop back to 6, and so we still have some of those issues. But the positive thing is all these turns, we can come out of these things pretty hard and help us kind of get a lead. And if you see, we are on the pole position, but Hamilton and Bottas are right behind us. Sergio Perez in 4th, Vettel and Verstappen, then Lance Stroll and Daniel Ricciardo, and then Alexander Albon finishes off for Red Bull Racing in the top 10. So it's going to be tough to hold them off, but coming out of those turns into some of these straightaways, I think we have a pretty good chance to maintain a lot of power that can help us push this car as we get ready for the start here, and we are off. And we have got a good start. We've managed to get a good start the last few races, which have really kind of helped us try to shoot up into some positions as we managed to get out there quite ahead of Hamilton. But this is what I'm talking about. You see these tight little turn corners that we have coming in. This road course outside of Monaco, which I had lost the recording on that earlier. Outside of that track, these things are really a lot more difficult, I guess you could say, than what you get out of your standard F1 track. Hitting the little curve, kind of swinging it out wide here. Getting used to it, getting our tires a little bit warmed up. We are on soft tires, so we're planning a 2-stop race. So with these soft tires, they do get warmed up and get grip a little bit quicker, but it's something that you still have to try to get used to as we hit these little curbs, and that makes it a little bit tougher to control. And this corner right there, I hate that corner. You know how many times I came so close to hitting that? I did up the damage. I had it on full before, and you would think, hey, that would be, you hit a wall, that's legit what would happen. Nah, you got to have it on simulation damage. Learn that one. So I have changed it over to simulation damage. So we do have to race what I would say is a lot more carefully at this point. Now coming in, we are getting right here to the end of this first lap, and we have been able to maintain the lead. We are about a second and a half above Hamilton, which is where we really need to be, and we can start trying to put some space between us. But if you look, he is closing real quick, and we don't even have the DRS on it. And actually, that's Bottas coming up on us. He is hauling. He caught us by about a second. He's only 0.2 behind us. He caught us by a second without even using that DRS, and Hamilton's the same way. This is getting a little bit ridiculous with my engine pack. I do have upgrades coming in, a new fitting, the second fitting to be put on. So hopefully in the future this won't be much of an issue, but if we can hit these turns, I'm telling you, we can hold them off. And that's just going to be the tight thing, and then swing that one out a little wide. Come out of them pretty hard, right into the next one, and that's how we're going to be able to make our space. If you look, Bottas is dropping back now to over a second, and every time on these little bitty straightaways, he starts trying to creep up on us. But these turns are what's really helping us maintain some distance. So now a second and a half lead over Bottas, almost 2 seconds over Hamilton, maintaining first place here on the second lap. There's 26 laps in this race, and to go around that corner right there 26 times is going to dang near give me a heart attack, I tell you what. All right, so we're coming back to the back half of this track, and that's where we kind of lost a lot of time against Bottas and Hamilton on lap number 1. Hoping we can maintain some of this speed as we hit that corner a little too wide and almost scrape the wall here on lap number 2. And that's what I mean. I have to drive these corners hard. And the downside, like I said, roach course, you get really close to the wall on them. But if you notice, right now we haven't lost any time. Almost scraping that wall as we maintain about a 1.5 lead over Bottas and Hamilton. Coming in getting right past the finish line right there as we maintain and this was a beautiful lap. That one was perfect. Downside DRS is enabled, so you got to be within a 1.5 of the person in front of you, which means we don't have anybody in front of us, so we can't use it, but Bottas is just, shy of a 1.5, and Hamilton's hanging out between 2 seconds to a 1.5 behind us. So both of them will be able to probably use the DRS zone come around the end of this next lap. So here in the third lap, hitting these corners, getting a lot better at them. It's a 2-stop race, so we should be hitting our pit window pretty quick, but I just need to time that out, properly. And that's one of the biggest things is get into the pit at the right time. So that way, I don't get passed up and I'm in a position where I'm not able to catch back up. So we'll kind of see what happens. Oh my goodness, took that turn way too sharp. God, that corner makes me stinking nervous. And we're coming around here once again to the back. Lap 3s. You see our tires are pretty much at 30%. I could run them a little bit for a little bit longer. I know our pit window, I believe, opens up on lap number 4. And so I probably need to get pitted pretty quick once it opens up. But I want to try to push these tires as long as I can. Because I want to try to see if I can't get Hamilton and Mercedes and all of them to stop before I do, just to add that little bit of space. So then the next lap or two, I'll get into the pit and have that big old gap between us. But look at stinking Bottas is coming up, and Hamilton's right on us now. 1/10 of a second behind us, and now he's 1/10 of a second ahead of us. Pit lane is open, and we've dropped back to third. Although they hit the brakes hard, but that caused us to do it too. So for lap number 4, dropping back to third, trying to keep up with Mercedes. And hitting some of these corners is now getting a little rough as our tires, they do definitely feel a lot more slick. I will say that. And look, I'm just shooting up now. Sebastian Vettel for Ferrari in the number 4 position. He's right behind us, but he's kind of maintaining right there. And Sergio Perez in number 5. I'm not so threatened by them at this point. But needing to get some space, make up the space between them. We're coming into these tight corners. I got to hit them hard and in the green zone as we kind of do, but hitting that curve, it just knocks me off balance. It makes me sway a little bit. Having to regain my composure on this. As we come through, took that turn a little wide. That one was hard to hold. Coming into this tight one and just got that. Oh, my Lord. Made it through. Lap number 4. 4th time through that turn. Oh, Jesus. That it makes my heart beat a little too quick, I'll say that much. After doing these races, sometimes it makes me feel like I got to go see a dang cardiologist, I tell you what. But here we are, lap number 4, down to 3rd place, but maintaining our position. Vettel, he's still the half second off. Coming into the DRS zone, I think we're close enough to Hamilton that we should be able to activate it. As well, that'll help us stave off Vettel's advances. But Perez is over 4 seconds behind me, so I'm not too concerned about him, even though every straightaway like this, it does kind of collapse. And stupid Sebastian Vettel. Oh, my God, I hate you. All right. Need to definitely change something up. We definitely don't have the power that we need on those straightaways. I'm going to definitely pit this very next lap here, or my tires don't have the grip coming off these corners. And Hamilton and none of them have lapped yet, so I'm willing to, pitted yet, so I'm willing to bet you they're probably going to pit this lap also. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Let me just hold on to this position, try to keep myself as close to Vettel as we possibly can. Coming into these tight corners, took that one a little too wide, and Vettel's able to hit the gas and make some space. God dang it. Here we come, right into this other little one, little S corner coming up. And we actually did that one pretty decent. We did hit that curb a little too much, and so we have fallen off our pace. But I think we're maintaining, and that's all I really need from us at this point. Uh-oh, we're coming up into this deadly turn I hate. We take it too far, and we crash, and that will destroy our wing, our suspension, and that will knock us out of this race. That one was, oh my God, I hated seeing that. That was just ridiculous. I don't even want to watch the replay of it, as we have to cancel out. We're done. Finito. Finished. No mas este dia. No mas this day. I'm not sure if that sounded right, but it did. And Mercedes obviously is going to take the win. But hey, you know what? I don't think this was Hamilton. I think Bottas, who was driving pretty damn well, that passed us. Come on, let's see. I think he's going to get it. Valtteri Bottas, he gets the win. He's able to fight off Hamilton in the end. They got to give that guy credit for it, you know. He did pass us, but at least he took the victory. Now, we did crash, so I guess there's that consolation. But Mercedes 1 and 2, and what a surprise. Max Verstappen with Red Bull coming in on the number 3 podium. Seems to be where he generally finishes up, and 3 or 2. So that one sucks. Our first do not finish race result because of the wreck. You know, coming into this next one, though, we are going to have all our new engine components set up and ready to go. And the French, I'm going to say French Grand Prix. We are in France. This track with our new engine gives us a little bit more power. But this track, once again, has these large swooping turns, which is set up for a lot of the way we race and the way our car is designed to give us these advantage. Now, there are a couple long straightaways there. The one thing is you generally have to come out of a turn pretty hard hitting that straightaway, and that works out better for us because we are going to have to everybody else is going to have to let off a little bit. The way our downforce is, our aerodynamics, it allows us to, like I said before, hit those turns hard coming in and hard coming out. We're able to be on the gas a lot, and gives us a little bit of that extra force that we lose coming off on those straightaways. So looking at the starting grid positions, we are going to have Hamilton in first. We did qualify second. Albon and Perez third, fourth. Vettel and Bottas fifth, sixth. Stroll, Norris 7, 8. Verstappen and Leclerc 9, 10. Now it's kind of surprising to see Verstappen all the way back in ninth. I'm not sure what happened to him during these qualifying sessions, but he just didn't have the speed, and that's just really hard to believe. Our teammate, at least, was not last in qualifying this race. So here we go. Coming to the start of this one, here in the number 2 position, getting the jump that we need, and the lights are gone. Come on. He spun his tires. Hamilton spun those tires and burned out real quick. And so we are able to shoot out there in front. And this is what I mean by swooping turns. Look at these things. Yeah, there's some back-to-back, but they are not as tight as we saw in the last race. And then some of these other races, Lewis Hamilton just powers on by us like it's nothing. At least we're actually maintaining with him coming into some of these. And that's really going to work out to our advantage. It is a 27-lap race, so I cannot panic that Hamilton passed us that early. Now he's making a lot of headway, which is starting to make me a wee bit nervous. Albon's closing in pretty dang quick. So he's right there on our right side. He had to hit the brakes as we maintained our position. Fighting him off is going to be a tough thing while we try to keep our focus on Hamilton coming up here. And this is what I was talking about. These straightaways is normally where we lose it. But if you look in the upper left corner, the little timer, Albon starts to drop off coming into some of these turns. And that's the only advantage we truly have in our car, is be able to hold these things pretty dang tight and have a lot of pressure on that gas pedal, fighting all the way through it. As we and you can see this is a pretty massive track. We are still on the first lap, coming down to the back end of it, but we still have a couple more pretty decent sharp turns to go. And even that one, it's a sharp, almost 180-degree turn, but you still have a lot of space when making that one. As we come down the back straightaway, and we are going to cross that finish line here in second place, maintaining our starting position here after the first lap. And, the good thing is Hamilton, as much as he shoots away from us, he also is stuck. We're also stuck right on his butt. Albon has dropped off. He's almost 2 seconds behind. Perez is almost 3, and Vettel's almost 4. I'm not too concerned with him. I just have my focus on taking out Mr. Lewis not taking out, but taking him down, Mr. Lewis Hamilton. Right here, just this chase that is about to ensue. I'm not sure how many more laps it's going to take for me to get him, but I'm telling you, I've got my eyes set on my target, and I'm going to take him down. All right, so still second lap, and see, we're closing in. We close in, we hit these straightaways, he makes up some space. But now we're half a second behind, and we're getting even a little bit closer. Getting us a wee bit closer. Almost every single time. Almost every single time we're starting to get to him. And maybe this just takes some fine-pointed pit stops. This is going to be a full-blown team effort. We're going to have a perfect race day to make sure we're actually able to catch him. So still on the second lap. Here in a minute, we are going to jump ahead. As we get ready to cross this finish line, we're going to jump ahead a little bit further in the race. And so we're going to kind of catch up there. As we will stay in second place after 2 laps, DRS is enabled, so a second and a half is that rule. And as long as we maintain there, we're going to catch Hamilton, I'm telling you. And we advance up to the 7th lap. Now you may be asking yourself, well, how are y'all 4th and 3rd all of a sudden? Well, we went into the pits. All right, Hamilton and myself, we took pit stops. Daniel, Ricciardo, and Kvyat did not. So we were able to shoot past Hamilton on that one, holding our lane on the inside of that turn. But we've got fresh tires. Ricciardo and Kvyat do not. And he's going to try to bump us a little bit, kind of pushing us out. We did take evasive maneuvers there. Daniel Ricciardo not racing the cleanest race in the world. Going to have some words with that feller after this. But we are still in reach of being able to take him down. Here comes Hamilton. He said, forget you. Trying to take my inside lane on that turn. I'm just going to pass you right back up. Which actually can work to my advantage. If I can maintain close enough with Ricciardo and Kvyat and just let Hamilton kind of take him down. And if he can get stuck behind him, I think we'll be pretty much good to go. See, I did change some of my fuel mixture right there. Unless he's out of the race, what in the hell? But I did change my fuel mixture. That'll help me get a little bit more power out of this thing. Instead of racing on the standard fuel mixture, I did change it over to rich. So we should get a little bit extra thrust. And if we can use that to our advantage and let Hamilton get stuck behind Ricciardo and we make our move. So we had to hit our brakes hard just to avoid Hamilton on that one. And this back straightaway, let him get stuck trying to race off against Ricciardo. That's going to be the biggest thing. Force him into that line. And yet, my plan backfired. They forced me into that line. Damn it. Should have seen that one coming. But Ricciardo and Hamilton are still fighting each other off. I'm going to have to send it into one of these turns pretty dang tight right there, and I held it too much. That caused me to drop some space, but thankfully I didn't get any rules committee breaking, anything like that coming on. I kind of cut that turn pretty damn short. So here on the 9th lap, we're still in 4th place, fighting to advance up and get back into basically our starting grid position of 2nd. Trying to shoot past it and see if we can't get first. I just need a little help from Ricciardo and let him get Hamilton to stop and let me right by him. As we hit these turns, coming into these straightaways, we're starting to get our feel for this track. It did take some time, a few laps to get into it, not so much just get the tires warmed up, but to get a few laps into feeling, all right, where is it that we can let off on the gas? Where is it that I have to do that on the turns where I can kind of make more of a coast instead of having to brake every time? And really timing out what stage do I have to. I do the practice rounds, don't get me wrong. I do the practice rounds and test all that out, fuel consumption, tire wear, all those little things. But it's just completely different in a race, so you have to feel it out every single race, and that's what I was doing. And we're going to try to take another shot at him on the inside here as we do able to get past Hamilton. We're going to shoot down past Ricardo as we're able to hold him off and force him to take evasive action. And he actually drops back. So all we have in front of us now is Kvyat. Lap number 10. We're back in second place. Hamilton is maintaining in fourth as he is still unable to get past Daniel Ricciardo. And we have Kvyat in our sights. I don't think he's going to be much of a problem. He's with AlphaTauri Racing, but that has not been, a powerhouse, at least this season for our season. They haven't done all that much, maintaining generally middle of the pack. So I'm not too concerned. Just need to buy my time. I don't want to do anything foolish. Hamilton is right behind me again. He's finally got up into third place. So I just need to try to maintain this position, race smart, and I will get my opportunity. That is a given. All right, I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to try to think about shooting it down, and I kind of do let off. I really wanted to, but here we go. And Kvyat with the fierce block on me. My God. As he shot his car down in front of us, we had to let up. And great, now Hamilton's coming back on us, as he's about 0.8 of a second behind us. Pretty even gap between us and Kvyat and Hamilton. So here we go, this back end straightaway. We've been able to make up some space here if we can get our DRS enabled. We got that timed perfectly. Kvyat in our sights. I'm going to have to probably shoot this one down low coming into this turn. And we do. We get right past them. Beautiful maneuvers. We are now in first place. Oh, man, that was just awesome. Cannot believe that one went through in that way. So we are coming around here on lap number 11 now. So now that we have gotten over into this top position, our main concern is going to try to keep off Hamilton, but Kvyat seems to be doing a pretty good job of that. And Hamilton's now almost 2 seconds behind us. Man, this new engine has made the difference. We've been working on doing some upgrades to our aerodynamic department, our chassis, but also our engine. And the second components that we have on here, these things are working beautifully. Still not nearly the power that a Mercedes has, but we are right up there, at least to where now we can make space. When we get the chance, we can maintain it some. Hamilton now 2 seconds behind us here on the 11th lap of the French Grand Prix. Coming around these turns, holding them beautifully, all in the green zone pretty much, not having to slam my brakes too hard into any one of them. The faster we get in and out of these turns, the better it is going to be for us in the long run. As we come into this final back half, final turn really of number 11 is right here on the 11th lap. Hamilton's about 1.5 seconds, but we maintain it coming out of that turn, able to hit the gas, make some extra space. That's what we've needed. This is going to be a big-time difference maker, as we are now on the 12th lap, maintaining first place position. Still almost 2 seconds ahead of Hamilton. But look at how we're able to hit these turns. We're on medium tires, and they've been on there for a few laps, so they are pretty well warmed up, and they have some good, decent grip on this track. But we're able to come into these things very hard without slamming the brakes, and that one we kind of swung a little wide. Okay, not the best driving on that little turn segment, but our tires are holding up. We're got good grip. This is everything we need. So now we're going to advance ahead to the 25th lap. We did make our second pit stop. We do have medium tires, and now we have a little bit of rain beginning to fall. I have a big enough gap between Hamilton at 12 seconds right now. He's been getting stuck behind some of this lap traffic we've been approaching. But this rain, if I mess up and I spin out, I'm done. Not like my car's out of the race, but Hamilton's going to catch up, and I'm not going to be able to get past him in the rain. I, I, it was offered to stop and put wet tires on, but I wasn't about to do that. Yeah, and thankfully I didn't earlier when it started to get a little rainy because Hamilton didn't stop. Vettel, Ricardo, Leclerc, none of them stopped to put wet tires on. Ricardo's got hard tires, and that rain is going to make those tires pretty hard to stick. We're on some pretty well broken in mediums, so we've got some good grip for us coming into these turns. As you can see, this rain, it is going to be the one thing right now outside of this lap traffic that we're approaching that could really mess us up. As we have Latifi in front of us, and he's getting the blue flag marker, but he's not really doing what he needs to do to get out of my way. Blue flag basically means, you're about to be lapped, right? That's what I've gathered. So he's going to need to just move on over, let us get by him. 25 laps completed in this race as we are now on 26. We have 2 laps remaining, 12-second lead over Hamilton, and we are in the rain needing a couple perfect ones. Got to race smart, race safe, and we can actually escape out of here with this win. Look at that, beautiful, all green in these turns. Could not ask for better. In this rain, thankfully it's not pouring either. It's still just a light rain. And from what I remember seeing the forecast, it wasn't supposed to rain either. This was generally set up to be a pretty good race day, but man, how things do change, I tell you what. Here on the 26th lap, we maintaining now a 13-second lead over Hamilton. Well, he probably got held up already by, what's his name? Oh, some of the people that we passed, Latifi or whatever. So here we go, lap number 26, 13-second lead in the race. Ooh. And I don't know if you can sense this as you watch this, but I can tell you, in my hand, it felt like this car was starting to get a little bit away from me on some of those turns. I do start letting off the gas a little bit more than just holding it and keeping it held down as long as I can. Just a couple turns ago, that thing almost felt like it was about to shoot out from under me. The back half was, and so I realized, ooh. I'm not about to wreck this coming into these last 2 laps and get rid of my top position. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Lap number 27. We are in the lead. So again, just finish this bad boy racing smart, and we will take home our first victory on the next gen console. And that is going to be a big one for us point-wise. It's going to help our team out. Our teammate, I believe, is already out of the race, so this will give us some good hard points for competitor or team cup, as well as, I'm not worried about the drivers. We're pretty far behind in that area. I'm just trying to finish middle of the pack and the team standings. All right, our tires are being pushed to the limit. Most of them are at 40%. I think one of them is actually getting a little higher, and at some point is getting a little closer to blowing. I think it's my front left tire, my front right. Forgot which one. But that thing is on the verge of becoming a blown tire, and even if it does, I don't care. I ain't stopping. I ain't stopping until I get across that finish line. 13.5-second lead over Hamilton, 32 over Vettel, 38 over Leclerc, and 40 over Ricardo. We have got the space. There's no reason to just hammer things down and risk my tire blowing. I'm going to have to start taking it just a little bit easier as we come into these last turns. And that's what I actually end up doing. Now, none of us have wet tires, so Hamilton and them are taking it a little bit more cautiously than I am in the rain, but they're a little bit more clumped up. I've got no one around us. We are on the back straightaway. Here we come, ladies and gentlemen. Getting ready to cross that line, and boom, we will take it. Our first win on the PlayStation 5 here in Formula 1, the France Grand Prix. Oh my goodness, what a day this has been. How do we win and not get driver of the day? Damn it, Kit Viet, I hate you. But wow, pulling out the victory. That one was a big time race for us. A lot of good racing, an overall team win. with the perfect pit stops that we had and getting us in and out quickly. Could not have asked for better. Well done, everyone involved, and whoever designed this track, whatever French bastard designed this track, I love them for it. Thank you. They're one of the reasons why we got this win. Here we are, taking our first podium of our new next gen career. Oh man, this podium was a relief. Our new engine worked out, big time improvements, and able to actually fix our car after the last race. I ran it into the wall. But not today, sir. Not today. As we will take home the winning opportunity, the winning trophy. And let's see what you press want to try to push on us today. You took top points. Was it a comfortable win? Oh man, downforce. Car's just so solid. Fantastic engine. Really was, but I could have done it without my whole team. Yeah, that's going to be the best response. All right. Well, luck has changed. They did last. Yeah, because I wrecked last weekend. All right. Thanks for reminding me. You know what I mean? Reliability, durability. Yeah, I'll give them that one. Can anything or anyone stop you? I think with this team behind me, I don't think so. Yeah. All right. So now that these questions are pretty much getting taken care of, I do want to remind y'all to hit the subscribe button if you have not already. And if you did like today's video, hit the thumbs up button, as it really does help out the channel, and we greatly appreciate everything that y'all do for us. And so with that in mind, I will see y'all in the next race. So until then, everybody, stay safe and well. Y'all know how it goes by now, right? Later, y'all.